Welcome back to the Top Notch Documentaries YouTube channel. In this episode of Cases from the Past, I'll be going over the murder of 18-year-old Bobbi-Anne Mcleod. Hope you enjoy. On Saturday the 20th of November 2021, 18-year-old Bobbi-Anne Mcleod told her dad that she loved him before leaving her family's house at 5:45 p.m. in Liam, Plymouth. Bobbi-Anne was planning on travelling by bus to meet with her boyfriend. Little did her father know, this was the last time they'd ever see his daughter alive. It was cold outside as the 5'2" teen waited at a nearby bus stop. A witness saw her standing there between 6 and 6:15 p.m. She was unaware that a man with dark intent had noticed her, intending on her being his victim. Bobbi-Anne had been on Snapchat, sending her friends a picture of her shoes. Despite feeling chilly, she was looking forward to seeing her boyfriend. Unfortunately, she never made it onto the bus. 24-year-old Cody Ackland was feeling wound up, feeling the need to get out of his mother's house. In the months prior, Ackland had been obsessed with the stories of serial killers, Ted Bundy in particular. Ackland was fascinated by Bundy and his methods of murder. He had become fixated with the idea of knocking out a defenceless female from behind and then taking her to a new location to murder her. In a gruesome mirroring of Bundy's MO, Ackland snuck up behind Bobbi-Anne, hitting her in the back of the head with a claw hammer. Their eyes interlocked as Bobbi-Anne hit the floor. I can only imagine her feeling of dread, her confusion as she lay on the cold ground, and the pain and shock that she felt. Ackland left Bobbi-Anne's body at the bus stop, intending to leave her there to slowly die. However, as he walked back to his car, he glanced back. Bobbi-Anne had sat up, attempting to yell out for help. He hastily bundled her body into his car, driving to Bellever Forest car park on Dartmoor. Ackland removed Bobbi-Anne's body from his car and proceeded to brutally beat her with the claw hammer. Police speculated that she was still alive at this time and that this savage, blunt force trauma was the cause of her death. Later on, Ackland would say that his motive for Bobbi-Anne's murder was not sexual. This is questionable. He acknowledged that her appearance was similar to women that he dated in the past, and after murdering Bobbi-Anne, he drove to a new location, stripped her body of clothing, dumping her body down a steep bank near to Bovisson Beach. He claimed that he did this because she'd be harder to identify if found. I doubt that many young women went missing at this time, and so if Bobbi-Anne had been found by chance, her identity would have been learned very quick. By removing her clothing, I feel like there was a sexual element to the crime. Let's now go into some of the background of Ackland. Ackland had a rough childhood. Having been diagnosed with special educational needs at age 7, Ackland began having suicidal thoughts by age 9. His parents divorced when he was young, and it's likely that his significant mental health issues played into his desire to retreat into a world of fantasy and serial murder. Lacking the support and comfort from his parents, especially his father, at home, by age 19, Ackland had already been diagnosed with ADHD, depression and anxiety. But not was all bad for Ackland. He was the lead guitarist and songwriter in an indie band called Rakuda, and following Bobbi-Anne's murder, body disposal and burning of her bag, Ackland actually rehearsed with his band. His behaviour was abnormal in the sense that he was described as being happier than usual. He socialised and partied. Whether the impact of his evil actions had finally set in or for some other unknown reason, Ackland left his job as a valet at a local garage. At 1:30 p.m, he walked into a local Plymouth police station, asking for a map before confessing to the murder of Bobbi-Anne. He was interviewed and wanted to help the police, providing closure for Bobbi-Anne's family. And just a quick side note, I've only ever come across one other killer who turned themselves in. The reasons behind why Ackland did this is unclear. Ackland wasn't a suspect in the case, which had baffled the police. Bobbi-Anne's possessions had been found later at the bus stop, but the case had been in its early stages as Ackland turned himself in just 3 days later. Social media appeals had been circulating as Bobbi-Anne's family had grown concerned about her status and well-being. The community was shocked to hear that someone who was normal with no previous criminal history could do such a thing. Thankfully, Bobbi-Anne's body was discovered, but there will never be closure for her family. At his trial, Ackland was confronted by his victim's family. We've been robbed of our beautiful girl in the worst possible way, and our lives will never be the same without her. I want Cody Ackland to know that he has taken away our world. We will never see her beautiful face or hear her laugh. see her get married or have the children she so wanted. So many everyday things have been taken away. Her not being here is still unimaginable. Ackland was sentenced to life in prison. The case of Bobbi-Anne Mcleod is a sad one. A young woman murdered in a savage, unprovoked attack for no apparent reason. A family left grieving and traumatised by the actions of one man, consumed by a world of murder and madness. This has been another episode of Cases from the Past. As always, thank you for watching.